I would say, you know, like if you see a member of the military, I think people should shake their hands and thank them. If you see someone walking in a prison uniform who works in a prison, we need to be thanking them.
Well, you've seen the recent attacks on prison officers, and they seem to be they're escalating rather than sort of calming down. And you said that you saw jihadists being passed sachets of butter on the wing.
No, so for the first 5 months, I was using the separation centre, which for 3 hours. So in the morning, this pissed me off. So in the morning, and once you get a routine that you do every day, so my routine would half hour on the exercise, go in the unit, use the little gym thing, finish for 2 hours, go back to my cell, get back to my cell at 11:30, and then I'd be in my cell till the next morning, yeah? And my door would open then and get at 8:30 again. But Salman Abedi's brother does a terrorist attack up in Franklin Prison. Now, Wood Hill Prison, 45 of their members of staff are dispatched. So they're from northern prisons, from Franklin, yeah? They can't get the staff to run Wood Hill Prison. They just can't get the staff, yeah? Lots of them are now coming over from countries like Nigeria and from abroad. They get a 2-year scheme to work in the prison system to try and help with the numbers because they just don't have the staff. So Franklin Prison, 7 jihadists, Salman Abedi's brother, and Jim Chowdhury was one of them. This is what I find absolutely fucking insane. I'm sat in total solitary confinement. I can't see anyone, I can't speak to anyone, I can't have anything for a civil offence. And I find out that this jihadist centre, which is the same separation centre, which has the best facilities, the cooking facilities, everything, that 7 of them are on there just having the life of Riley together. They're all out playing pool, playing table tennis, cooking. Now, Salman Abedi's brother had used the butter. So in the prison, they give you, say, 4 bits of butter every day, you know, when they give you your food. So he's using the butter. He's heated up the butter to use as a boiling thing to throw in the prison officer's face. That's how he's done the attack up in Franklin. And then he's stabbed and he's chasing, because I spoke to the staff here, I was speaking to the staff there. He's chased the female officer around the table, pool table, 7 times, stabbing her. Yeah, stabbed 3 of them. And whilst he's doing that, they're all cheering Allah Akbar, the other Muslims. Now, after this attack, they moved all of them, bar Salman Abedi's brother, to the separation centre in Wood Hill. So they shipped them all out the next day. They come down in police fucking escorts. So within a day. Now, for the first 5 months, I'd been arguing because I was only eating tinned food, yeah, which I didn't complain about because I could buy enough of it. I'd tuna, mackerel, I'd buy all my tin stuff. But I kept saying to the prison, why can't I be on that wing, separation wing, which has a lovely fucking cell? Why can't I stay on the travel lodge? Yeah. What do I have to do to stay on the travel lodge? Kill a few people and shout Allah Akbar, basically. And then you get the travel lodge treatment, yeah? But I said, what do I have to do to be on the travel lodge? Why can't I use the cooking facilities? And I kept making complaints, saying if I was on there, I can cook my own food, like everyone else can cook their own food, because you can buy stuff from the canteen that you can cook. And they said there was ongoing works on there. That's what she says in court. Again, in her statement in court, there's ongoing works. It's the only reason I'm being held in segregation rather than on a location. The only reason why I'm held in the most basic shit conditions of a prison is because there's ongoing works. And I said, it's brand new. I know that's bullshit. There's no ongoing works. You're purposely putting me in a position where I can't have cooked food. You're purposely putting me in a position where I have a shit cell. You're purposely doing it. But anyway, they do this terrorist attack up in Franklin Prison. The next day, they're put onto the unit that's got ongoing works on. They're on that unit. That's a C wing, yeah, of the high security unit. Now, once they put them on there, they then come see me. Yeah, you've lost your exercise yard and gym. You can't do it anymore. So I said, because you filled the unit with the jihadists. So I thought even now I'm in jail, the jihadists are preventing my shit. So then they come and said, but I had my routine, so it's pretty annoying. But I only had I thought I had 4 months left. But I just said, so what am I going to do now? So I've got no gym. So I went from having gym or gym facilities, no weights and that, but every day for 2 hours to then nothing again, to nothing at all. And then where they said in court I had a job after 5 months, they said I worked on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Well, they then had to stick to giving me something. So they took me to D unit, which was 8 cells. There was nothing on there. So, and they just put me in there in the afternoon. This is where they said I was painting and decorating. There's nothing to do. They just sit me in there in the afternoons. I thought, what's the point of sitting? At least in the cell, I can lay down. But then they put me on there. Now, as I was coming off D unit, I was talking to 2 officers, the ones that take me there and back. And I was saying to them, they said, things have changed now. They're arguing about whether they're going to change after the attack on the prison officers. So basically, when they brought the jihadists down to the separation centre, to open the door, they'd make them stand against the back wall, lift their tops up, show that they've got nothing before they'd open the door for them to come out. And they were only allowed out 1 at a time. Yeah, this lasted 3 weeks. So I'm coming out of D-Wing and the door for C wing opens. It's Mr. Akhtar, Muslim lad, and so we come out of ours and they come out of there. He's got a bag this big, just full of butter. So I looked and said, have you not learnt your fucking lesson? You're still giving them wankers butter, and that much of it. And he went, and then the other officer said, surely you're taking that off that wing now that they're on there. And then Mr. Akhtar went, oh no, there's loads already on there. There's too much on there. That's why I'm taking this. I was like, you've learned nothing. And then what the officer explained is they have, so the jihadists, whenever where they kept them in cells on their own and they weren't letting them all be together, straight away they have human rights lawyers just untold starting litigation against the prison. It's continued litigation against the prison. There was a Somalian lad who, they told me so many cases, a Somalian lad from Milton Keynes from Fishermead, and he shot another lad dead. It's local to me, so it was a big case. He then went into the prison system and he tried to they took prison officers, they were going to behead prison officers up in a northern prison. So they put him in isolation, like I was in isolation. Straight away, he's taken to court and he won the court case. They're not allowed to hold him in isolation. I think they're allowed to do it. They were allowed to do what they wanted to me for whatever duration they wanted as well. That's what I just don't get. I think everything was stacked, and then they just lied. When we get to court, they just literally lied. The entire Nicola Marfleet's I had to sit there in court, and I held up a bit of paper if the people didn't say her entire statement's lies. And it's pretty frustrating when you're sat in a room all day and then you're getting told that you've got all these different privileges. And I'm thinking, this is just total bullshit. Total bullshit.
Well, knowing that all of it was lies and all trumped up and it's a stitch up, and anyone that's seen the documentary knows, anyone that's followed this whole debacle closely will know that it's completely unjust. So you're in there because people have lied about you, but you're also in there and you're hearing about people lying about you on the outside. So I would watch it on GB News. So when Elon Musk, for example, he retweeted your documentary, he said that Farage wasn't fit for purpose, you blew up again all over the internet, on every media outlet, on X particularly, and then Nigel Farage keeps appearing in interviews that seem to me like he was teeing up his own questions. So let's clear that up. Couple of things. First, have you ever asked to join Reform?
I've never asked to join Reform. Do you know that first week of January, that was my moment of, because I was feeling, I guess from that point I felt I was floating around my cell, and I rang my son and he's like, Dad. I was like, what? He goes, Elon Musk has pinned Free Tommy Robinson. He said he shared the film. He's told people to watch your film. And I was like, yes, it's worked.